Okay, so Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. A week, hasn't it? Think about it. So we found out many things that are not surprising, but distracting and engaging and gets you to take your eye off the ball. So as much as, hotter than July, Stevie Wonder, and we're moving into this energy of lots more starting to change. You've seen some weather patterns in the USA and in other parts of the world which are extreme. And this is the kind of changes that we are anticipating, that the changes that humanity is now going through, which we've been trying to sort of lay out over the last 18 months or so, is that this is a paradigm change. It's a complete paradigm change, meaning, like in a dream, it all seems real. But the moment you wake up, you can never recreate the dream. And the only difference is that our waking up is a slower process. Normally, it's just boom, and you're out of it. So these changes that we are going through aren't necessarily to do with humanity and stuff. It's much bigger. It's like you got to stand outside and look at the stars at night and see the vastness of the or should I say, on a being in just space, and you think you're important. Yeah, I think what's going on is important. So but what's more important is to disengage from the vast universe that we're in and recognize that all that is going on and local than just distractions and drama. Right this moment, if you were to look within yourself, are you okay? Yeah, most of us are. Most of us are. Before we had the story, what's going to happen, what may happen, what will happen. So if we keep reminding ourselves of where we are, that normally, wherever you are, you're actually okay. You're okay. Think about it. Just experience it right now. How many of you are suffering? And if you are, can you show me your suffering? Can you articulate it? Is it a thought or is it a feeling? Or is it a sensation? Or is it all three? And which bit of that makes it yours? And you begin to deconstruct this whole experience of what you consider to be suffering. Half of the world used to have a worldview that was inner orientated. Inner orientated worldview is based on contentment. Things are the way they are. Yeah? If it's hot, it's hot. If it's raining, it's raining. Things are the way they are. What matters is my contentment. What matters is my contentment. If I'm content, I'll put up with most things. But if I'm not content, then I won't even put up with all the riches in the world. And are we not seeing that now? How many meals can you eat? How many beds can you sleep on? And if you have 100 houses, how many can you ever occupy? See, the mind is always accumulating. For what? So there's a great story, yeah, I'll share with you about Alexander the Great. It said that when he was passing through India, around that part of the world, there was an individual. Everyone used to get up when he used to come with this huge procession. and he found an individual lying on the bank in the sand, couldn't care less, just enjoying the sun. And the punishment was that if you did not stand to attention, you could be imprisoned or even killed. So everyone was standing to attention as this procession came, apart from this old man. So the general, Alexander himself was shocked, so he stopped and he went to this man and he said to his general, he said, go and ask him. Doesn't he know who I am? So this man goes over, kicks this man in the sand. The general kicks him and says, don't you know who that is? He goes, oh, I don't care. Let me enjoy the sun. So general goes back to Alexander, reports back, and he goes, what? So he gets up and he goes over to this man and he says, don't you know who I am? And he says, I'm not bothered. Leave me alone. Enjoying the sun. And he said, I'm Alexander the Great. And if you do not pay attention to me, I'm going to have you executed. If you don't give me respect. He says, I'll respect you if you can answer the question. Asks this fakir to Alexander. He says, what's the question? He says, what are you about to do? He said, well, I'm going to go over to this part of the world and I'm going to conquer it. He says, and then what? Still haven't answered the question. What are you going to do? What's the end result? He goes, well, then I'm going to go to China, conquer it, Russia, conquer it, and then I will have conquered the world. He said, then what are you going to do? He says, well, I'm going to probably relax and sit back. So he goes, you're going to do that, create so much conflict when you can join me now. And it is said that this story and another one, where someone predicted his death, that he would die surrounded by gold with a canopy of diamonds over him. Yeah, so he thought, wow, my death is going to be so opulent. I have nothing to worry about. And he gets old, or he gets along the way, and he finds himself in a place where there is no water. And many people are dying as he is. And as he's dying, his right-hand man lays his cloak down and shields his face with a shield. And the cloak has gold rings in it. And the shield has studs of diamonds. So the prophecy still came true, but the circumstances were different. And it is said that the impact of this was that his last wish was that when his procession was to be taken forward, that his hands be outside the coffin. So he could indicate that you could have everything. But ultimately, naked you arrive, naked you are, and naked you will go. So what's the point of accumulating 100 houses, of having a bank balance of trillions, when right in front of you there are people who can't afford a loaf of bread? Where's the sense that your paper money is more valuable than a life of a human being or animal? See where we've gone wrong. We have transferred value away from life, including our own. And we have transferred our life importance on paper, on status, on prestige, on how important you are. You're not important. Trust me. The graveyards of all the people who thought they were indispensable. Center of the world, that is. So we have to find this peace. And meditation allows us. The world that we're living in is the world that is created through sensory input. What you think, what you watch, what you hear, what you tell yourself will create your reality. That becomes your mind, let's call it that. And depending on what you create for yourself, you create your experience. So thinking that, every time you go out, you're going to die because you're going to get infected will keep you in a prison of fear. So what you think creates your reality. So be mindful. So one way of living is where there is this discontentment. Things just aren't enough. I need to be happier. I need to be more content. I need to be more spiritual. I need to be more this and more that. Never enough. Never enough. And you only realize that when your hand's outside the coffin. That when you had, you didn't recognize it. You were still discontent. Discontent. So part of this lifestyle, as I started off with, that there were two worldviews. One was this inner one, which began with contentment, and the other one was the other one, which was with discontentment. But when you see yourself right this moment, you will begin to recognize that actually you're quite content. You're quite content. Until I put a story into your mind to make you discontent. Say, oh, isn't it a bit hot? Yeah? Are you not a bit hungry? Very easy to create discontent. Just add the trigger. But in yourself, you're quite content. Yeah? So meditation is not just about peace of mind. It's about building this inner resilience, because you have now seen you needed resilience over the last 18 months. And things are not getting easier. In fact, the confusion is more so. Information that's leaking out is making people think twice. Buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. Yeah, and there are some things you can't reverse. So the impact on society, on how we interact, how we're able to live a life in which we maintain a level of health for ourselves and for others, is all going to become more and more paramount. Hence, what we began months ago, this cultivation of exercises, developing mindfulness, developing emotional health, mental health, physical health, allowing all of that within the context now of the transpersonal space. You ain't that important. There is much beyond what we consider to be life. Much, much beyond. Anything that you experience and see becomes part and parcel of you. But if you are denied those experiences, they will never be part of you. So meditation opens these new gates in which contentment, yes, that's a feeling that you will experience. Silence, yes, that's a feeling you will experience. Stillness, you will experience. But out of that comes this dissolving of this sense of fragile ego that we have, and becoming part of that which we are, the wholeness of existence. So that's the transpersonal dimension of health. That when those people, and it has been now shown many times, those people who have a trust in existence, whether it's God or what, however they see it, are able to recover quicker from illness, are more resilient. Yeah, but not just false belief. Has to be based on experience, has to be based on understanding. So discontentment is the root of your suffering. That's it. You are not satisfied with what you have. And because you're not satisfied with what you have, you are suffering. Once you are satisfied and accepting of what you have and what is life, including your thoughts, including the acceptance of feeling discomfort. If we're able to accept that, to be with it, to allow it to transform and not be our resistance, then you will find that even your suffering goes. And you realize that life is this perpetual change and that you are the experiencer of that change. You are not the experience. Yeah, you are the experiencer of that change. You are not the experience. You are the mirror, so to speak, not the reflection in the mirror. Right? You are the canvas upon which the experience appears, whether it's comfort, discomfort, pleasure, not pleasure, suffering, non-suffering. Those two are on the canvas of your consciousness, the experiencer. Does that make sense? Yeah. And it's important to be aware of that. And meditation allows us to access that, not from somewhere else, because it's you. Part of you that connects you to yourself, but also disconnects you from the dramas of the world and the dramas of your mind. Yeah. Okay, so shall we begin? So we begin with changing our posture. Making sure our back is straight and upright, pushing our shoulders back a little bit. And there's a reason you take time over your posture. You become familiar with your body. You allow yourself to embody yourself. So as you pull your shoulders back, you notice your chest feels open. And if you imagine that you're being pulled from your hair upwards, you will allow your spine to become erect and straight, but not rigid. Okay, so you can relaxed. Your eyes are closed, and you can bring your focus towards your eyes and notice they are closed. Your mouth is closed. And as you breathe in, you want to bring your focus to your posture. Does it feel like you're sitting with dignity, with confidence? Do you feel you're slumped? Notice how you perceive your body posture. Now, if you bring your focus towards your head and imagine a hula hoop moving downwards, see if you can scan your body for any sensations. So we're just taking a quick check-in of where we are and what our experience of life is right now. So we do a scan from the top of our head downwards, just scanning our body to notice what sensations are present and where they are. Are they tightness, an itch, an ache, a pain? Once you've located it, now bring your focus towards your mind, towards your thoughts. what kind of thoughts you're having, if any. And whatever they are, they're okay. No judgment. Bringing your focus now to your chest. In this moment right now, how do you perceive what you feel? Is this moment complete, whole? Does this moment feel enough? Or is there something missing? Taking a good note of how you perceive that. Is this moment enough? Bring your focus now to the seat you're on. Notice the sensations where your body makes contact with the seat. Bring your focus towards your hips. And as you breathe out, bring your awareness towards your thighs, moving towards your knees. And then on your next breath out, moving this focus down towards your ankles, all the time noting any sensation that's dominant. From your ankles, become aware of your feet. From your feet, move your focus to the soles of your feet as best as you can. Coming back to your seat again. So this moment that you are locked in, as we all are, as everything is, connects you to all the moments that ever have been. And this moment connects you to all the moments that ever will be. Notice how the chair holds you and supports you. Notice how your back is straight and upright. Gently bring your focus up towards your lower back. Middle back. Shoulder blades. From your shoulders, move your focus down to your elbows. From your elbows, move your focus to your wrists. Becoming aware of the palms of your hands. Fingers on your hands. Moving your focus now just to the back of your neck. Notice if there's any sensation you can sense. And as you pull your chin in slightly, notice the sensation that changes at the back of your neck. Bringing your focus now to your eyes. Notice the darkness. The experiencer of that darkness is consciousness. And that awareness can move towards your ears and towards the back of your head. As you breathe out, relax your eyes. On the next breath in, bringing your focus to your tongue. Notice if it's firm, notice if it's soft. Allow it to soften. And on your next breath out, relaxing your face. Bring your focus towards your breath, holding it just beneath your nose, allowing the breath to breathe by itself. Stay with your breath. If you find your focus has been distracted by a sound, my voice, or your thinking, notice the distraction, come back to your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice that the in-breath comes in, the out-breath goes out, all by itself. The breath allows you to know yourself. The breath is your anchor. Notice that your breath has 4 parts. There's a start for your in-breath and an end for your in-breath. There's a small gap, then the start of your out-breath and the end of your out-breath, and a small gap. See if you can notice that. Your intention is simply to know the breath. See the start of your in-breath, end of your in-breath. Notice the gap before the out-breath begins. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Begin to follow your out-breath all the way till the end. See when it finishes precisely. allowing each out breath to move you closer and deeper into this moment. Simply to know your breath. Stay with your breath. Following your out breath all the way till the end. Notice there's a tiny little gap at the end of your out breath before the in breath begins. See if you can notice that. Allowing each breath to take you deeper and deeper into the moment. Notice how your breath feels now. Does it feel long? Does it feel short? Does it feel fast? Does it feel slow? Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel rough? Does your breath have a sound? Allowing yourself to listen to the sound of your breath as best as you can. Stay with your breath, listening. Listening to your breath. And on your next breath out, opening your awareness to all the noises around you. Allowing the sounds to come to you. listening. Gently bringing your focus just beneath your nose and just sitting with your breath. Stay with your breath. Stay with your breath. Notice the experience that is present for you now. How does the body feel? Notice if you feel time or timeless. Does this moment feel calm or anxious? Peaceful or unpeaceful? How does the mind feel? Do you feel safe? Do you feel whole? Does it feel timeless? Does it feel grounded, connected? And if you feel peaceful, then focus on the peace. If it feels calm, then focus on the calmness. If it feels safe, then focus on the safety. And notice that this is you, this is your experience, something that's happening within you, nothing from outside. A place which always exists, ever present, ever aware, and accessible. On your next breath out, expand your awareness, becoming aware of your whole body as best as you can. Again, sensing your posture, sensing any sensations that may exist in the body right now. Notice you're still sitting in the same place you began, supported by the chair. Notice that there are sensations in your body where your body makes contact with where you're sitting. Bring these sensations into your awareness. Notice you can sense your thighs. From your knees, you can sense all the way down to your feet. And you even have awareness of the soles of your feet now, bringing your focus there as best as you can. Going back to the seat you're on, once again, notice how you're embedded in this moment. Always present, always embedded, coming to this greater wholeness. Notice that your back is straight and upright. Shoulders, arms, hands are relaxed and comfortable. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath again. And now, as the breath comes in, you can sense your body, and as the breath goes out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. And once again, on your next breath out, becoming aware of the sounds around you. Following the sound of this bell to reconnect to the silence and the stillness before we end the session. When you hear the next bell, use this bell to come back to your breath, drawing a few deep breaths in, and then gently opening your eyes and bringing some of that peace back with you. Enjoy the silence before the bell.